Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the English Daily Book Summary YouTube channel. In order to not stop learning, listen to an English book summary every day for free.
Caroline Goyder, Gravitas. Communicate with confidence, influence, and authority. In a world of noise and distraction, have you noticed that some people possess a remarkable quality that makes others stop and listen? We're not talking about flashy charisma or domineering authority. It's something more profound, a quality that combines knowledge, purpose, and passion. This is gravitas, the ability to communicate with confidence, influence, and authority. Gravitas isn't about intimidating others or speaking the loudest. It's about finding the perfect balance of expertise, authenticity, and emotional connection. When you possess gravitas, your words carry weight. People trust your judgment and feel compelled to follow your lead, even in challenging situations. The good news? Gravitas isn't something you're born with. It's something you can develop through specific practices and principles. There's even a simple formula to get there. Knowledge plus purpose plus passion minus anxiety equals gravitas. In this blink, you'll learn the 7 core principles that build genuine gravitas, from knowing yourself deeply to keeping a level head under pressure. You'll also discover how to apply these principles in common scenarios like presentations, meetings, phone calls, interviews, and on-camera appearances, helping you communicate with authority in any situation. Perfect the 3 inner pillars of personal authority. Gravitas, the quality that makes others trust and respect you, is built on 7 key principles that anyone can develop. The first 3 principles establish the internal foundation needed for effective communication. To start, know yourself. This principle is about tuning into your thoughts, feelings, and physical presence. Like an actor preparing for a role, you need to understand your own inner landscape. The Hofbach technique, short for feet on the floor, bum on chair, helps ground you physically. If you can, try it now. Take a seat and then feel the points where your body contacts the chair and the floor, drawing your attention to these connection points. This creates a physical stability that translates into emotional steadiness, which others can sense when you speak. Next, teach people how to treat you by balancing status and connection. Think of this as having different gears you can shift between. Sometimes, you need to be the pilot of the plane, exuding authority. Other times, you're the friendly flight attendant displaying warmth. Try this simple experiment. Say a sentence with your palms facing down and notice how your voice naturally drops, sounding more authoritative. Then, say the same sentence with your palms facing up and hear how your tone becomes more approachable. This awareness gives you control over how others perceive you in any situation. The third principle is finding your voice, communicating with originality and clarity. This means sifting ideas through your own intelligence rather than regurgitating others' thoughts. When speaking, use short, punchy sentences and pause at natural breaks. This speaking in verse technique does 2 things. It gives your words room to land with your audience and gives you time to breathe and think. By breaking down complex thoughts into digestible phrases, you make your ideas accessible and memorable. These first 3 principles establish your internal foundation. By knowing yourself, managing how others perceive you, and finding your authentic voice, you'll create the base upon which powerful communication is built. 4 practical ways to project confidence and influence others. Building on the internal foundation of gravitas, the remaining 4 principles focus on how you connect with and influence others. The 4th principle, speak so others listen, involves mastering the mechanics of speech. Your tone, pace, and strategic pauses determine whether people pay attention. Try speaking from different places in your body. Your head voice conveys intellect and thoughtfulness. Your heart voice expresses warmth and empathy. And your gut voice communicates power and conviction. To find your natural resonant voice, place your thumb below where your ribs separate and tap while speaking. This physical reminder activates your diaphragm rather than your throat, instantly giving your voice more depth, a quality you can then recreate whenever you need to sound more authoritative. Winning hearts and minds, the fifth principle, reminds us that facts alone don't persuade. You need to balance logic with emotion to truly engage an audience. Consider planning the emotional journey you want to take your listeners on, marking up your content to indicate what feelings you want to evoke at each point. This deliberate emotional architecture makes your message stick and inspires action. The sixth principle, keeping an open mind and level head, is essential when dealing with difficult situations. If you can recognize challenging behaviors in others like blaming or distracting, you can respond thoughtfully instead of reactively. A helpful exercise involves using 3 chairs to physically move between perspectives: yours, the other person's, and a neutral observer's. This creates the cognitive flexibility needed to maintain your influence, even in tense conversations. Finally, getting results requires balancing preparation with adaptability. The Greeks had 2 words for time that perfectly capture this 7th principle. Chronos refers to clock time, which you use for planning before an event. Meanwhile, Kairos describes being fully present in the moment, which you need when actually engaging with others. To succeed, you need to develop both. Plan carefully using Chronos, then shift into Kairos when it's time to perform. If you find yourself getting stressed in these key Kairos moments, try the freeze frame technique. Pause, breathe deeply, generate a positive feeling, then decide how to proceed. This gives you the stability to think clearly under pressure while keeping an eye on your intended outcome. By practicing these 7 principles, you'll develop true gravitas that'll help you communicate effectively in any situation. Now, let's explore how to apply these principles to common scenarios like presentations, difficult conversations, and leadership situations. Bringing gravitas to your presentations. The best presentations put the spotlight on the audience, not the speaker. When you present with gravitas, you become a mentor, helping your audience navigate challenges and break through limitations. This shift in perspective changes everything about how you prepare and deliver your message. Great presentations start with thoughtful preparation. Use a 3-phrase approach inspired by Walt Disney's creative method. Begin as a dreamer. Visualize yourself giving the perfect presentation and identify what excites you about your topic. Next, become a realist. Organize your ideas with your audience in mind, researching their needs and structuring your content to solve their problems. Finally, be a critic. Edit ruthlessly for clarity and conciseness. When it comes to structuring your presentation, it helps to emulate a news broadcast. Tell your audience what you're going to tell them, then tell them what you just told them. For maximum impact, organize your content into 4 areas: the problem your listeners face, your solution or insight, practical steps along with the benefits, and a clear call to action. Of course, practice transforms good content into a confident delivery. Record yourself speaking, listen back, and then refine. Walk through your presentation multiple times, focusing on creating smooth transitions between your ideas. And practice in front of a mirror or use a video recording tool to evaluate your physical presence. Before presenting, it's important to protect your preparation time and manage any nervous energy. Transform butterflies in your stomach through deep breathing and positive visualization. Arrive early to check the room setup and take a quiet moment to center yourself. Think of your presentation as a thoughtful gift you're excited to share. When it's game time, remember to breathe deeply, slow down, project your voice, smile at your audience, and most importantly, be yourself. This combination of thorough preparation and present moment connection creates presentations that might just leave your audience seeing the world a little differently. Transform meetings from power struggles to productive collaborations. Most meetings lack impact purpose, and frankly, enjoyment. Instead of being collaborative spaces where ideas flourish, they often become competitive arenas where people battle for status and attention. Bringing gravitas to meetings means transforming them into productive exchanges where everyone contributes toward a common goal. Just like with presentations, effective meetings begin with thoughtful preparation. Before scheduling anything, ask yourself whether the meeting is truly necessary. If it's purely informational, consider a phone call instead. For meetings that require an emotional connection or brainstorming, do your homework. Speak with stakeholders beforehand to understand the various perspectives and any potential objections. When your meeting day arrives, consider every stage as an opportunity to establish your gravitas. Arrive early, dress appropriately for the organization's culture, and greet people with a confident handshake. Try to really connect with individuals as they enter, tuning into their energy and addressing any concerns that might distract them later. Choose your seat strategically. The power position faces the door with a window behind you. If you're not leading the meeting, sitting to the right of the decision maker can increase your influence. During the meeting, balance authority with warmth. Set clear time boundaries, manage those who monopolize discussions, and encourage quieter voices. State the common purpose up front and celebrate achievements to create positive energy. When challenges arise, acknowledge them directly, but frame them constructively. How you listen directly impacts how you speak. Listen reflectively to gather information and supportively to build relationships or find ways forward. When you speak, be clear and direct, avoiding qualifiers like "I think" that weaken your impact. Conclude your meeting by circling back to its original purpose, acknowledging everyone's contributions, and setting clear action points. Follow up with a thank you email that reinforces the next steps and responsibilities. And just like that, you've transformed an ordinary meeting into a productive exchange. The voice of gravitas on telephone calls. Phone calls strip away visual cues that normally help you connect with others, leaving only your voice to create presence and impact. And without seeing nods of agreement or furrowed brows of confusion, you lose valuable feedback that can help guide your communication. This challenge becomes even greater during teleconferences with multiple participants across different time zones. The secret to phone gravitas starts with your voice quality. Many people unconsciously slip into an unnatural phone voice that sounds stilted or overly formal. Instead, aim for a voice that conjures dark brown velvet, warm, relaxed, and conversational. The simplest way to create this quality is by smiling while you speak. Research shows that listeners can actually hear a smile, especially a big, genuine one, which makes your voice sound the most warm and inviting. Your body language also speaks volumes even when no one can see you. Stand up to instantly double your vocal authority, especially during challenging conversations. Use natural gestures while speaking. They help orchestrate your vocal expression and energy in ways listeners can hear. Before important calls, warm up your articulation by exaggerating vowels and consonants while speaking simple phrases. Preparation is essential here too. Create concise, punchy content that respects listeners' attention spans. Let participants know you'll be asking questions to discourage email checking. Begin with something engaging, a relevant story or surprising statistic, and establish the call's purpose early on. End calls with the same care you begin them. Give participants a heads up that you're wrapping things up, summarize your key points, and clearly outline next steps. Smile as you finish, and be sure to put energy into your final words rather than trailing off. Want a final tip? Study radio presenters, masters of creating connection through their voice alone. Their techniques for warmth, clarity, and engagement translate perfectly to professional phone communication. Win over interviewers with an authentic delivery. When walking into an interview or pitch, most people want to present themselves authentically while still making a powerful impression. This balance between authority and warmth creates gravitas, your distilled, authoritative best self that leaves others confident in your abilities. Your preparation begins with thoroughly researching your interviewers. Study their communication style, preferences, and values without trying to become their carbon copy. Find authentic connection points that highlight your compatibility. Studies show that interviewers are drawn to candidates with a clear vision for their future. So, picture your success. It'll shine through in your eyes, even when tackling tough questions. Anticipate likely questions, including those you dread, and structure responses using a simple framework. Make your key point, reference a concrete example for credibility, then comment on how this uniquely benefits your interviewer. Keep answers punchy with specific facts and real-world stories. It's important to find the sweet spot between prepared and natural. Try signposting techniques like 2 points, first, which creates a clear structure and prevents you from getting interrupted. Practice closing your mouth after answering, allowing natural pauses that give you control and the interviewer space to respond. Before your interview, clear your schedule and take a moment to reset. Keeping things in perspective makes all the difference. Visualize the interview as small and manageable, rather than looming and threatening. Take responsibility for the energy you bring by breathing deeply and recalling positive emotional memories. During your interaction, tune into the interviewer's energy level and match it appropriately. Listen like you're truly curious, rather than waiting for your turn to speak. When answering, visibly consider questions before responding to display your thoughtfulness and authority. And take your time. Rushing makes you seem insecure and unprepared. Remember, they'd be lucky to have you. Trust that if there's a genuine fit, your well-prepared gravitas will shine through. How to project gravitas through a camera lens. The camera magnifies everything: your confidence, your nervousness, and especially your authority or lack thereof. When you appear on camera, whether it's for a news interview, product demo, or video conference, you need to balance credibility with passion to truly connect with your viewers. Start by trusting why you've been invited to speak. You're there because you've got valuable knowledge to share, right? So find that sweet spot, confident but not arrogant, humble but not overly self-deprecating. Prepare concise content that showcases your unique perspective, aiming for answers no longer than 30 seconds that incorporate specific examples, facts, or emotional connections. Rather than memorizing scripts verbatim, organize your thoughts into bullet points and practice the transitions until they flow naturally. This allows you to think through your answers in the moment while maintaining a conversational tone that viewers will respond to. On camera day, tap into the Gravitas acronym. Grooming matters, so consider professional makeup and choose clothes in primary colors over black, white, or busy patterns. Relax through steady breathing to counter any adrenaline you're facing. Keep your eyes animated by looking directly at the camera. Project your voice's energy without shouting. Speak about topics that truly inspire you. Sit tall with good posture. Keep any arm gestures contained within the width of your shoulders. And finally, smile naturally by imagining you're speaking to a friend. For video conferences, the same principles apply but can be adjusted for the setting's formality. The main difference between speaking on camera and in everyday situations is how you project your energy. On camera, direct your energy as if you're speaking to one person, making it feel personal, even if you're addressing a larger audience. With a little preparation and practice, you'll create a camera presence that feels both authoritative and approachable, helping your viewers connect with your message and your personality. The main takeaway of this link to Gravitas by Caroline Goyder is that anyone can develop gravitas with some practice. When you break it down with the equation knowledge plus purpose plus passion minus anxiety equals gravitas, you can focus on improving each part of your presence step by step. There's 7 principles that provide a roadmap here. Know yourself, teach others how to treat you, find your voice, speak so others listen, win hearts and minds, keep an open mind, and get results. These principles apply to any communication context, from formal presentations to everyday conversations. By pairing self-awareness with effective communication skills and a real passion for what you're saying, you'll naturally create a presence that grabs attention and inspires others to follow. Start small, keep practicing, and watch your gravitas grow. Okay, and that is it for this Blink. We really hope you enjoyed it. And if you can, please take the time to leave us a rating because we always appreciate your feedback. All right, see you in the next Blink. Bye.